welcome back to Faraway Golf, and today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video. I am out here solo at Topwin Golf and Country Club, and part of the reason that we have this channel name called Faraway Golf is that sometimes good golf can feel like a faraway land that you're never going to achieve. So I'm going to try to demystify that for you today. I know that sometimes breaking 80 can be a challenge. For me, it used to be a really difficult thing, and it seemed unattainable. If you are in that similar situation, my hope is that by sharing some tips with you in this video, that I can help you improve your game by simplifying it and realize that good golf is not a fairy tale. Sometimes it's just a par away. So we've got a par 72 here, which means if I want to break 80, I need to go +4, +3. And I generally try and lay it out that way that my front nine might be a little bit more challenging than my back nine. It really simplifies it immediately. That's essentially saying almost half the holes, I'm okay if I bogey. If I happen to fall into a birdie here and there, wonderful. And then obviously one thing we want to do is take a look at the course layout. I see there's water on the left, so I'm immediately already going to point myself over to a safer area. That one did not fade, but because of where I aimed myself, there was lots of room. All I did was take that water out of the equation. We're only 153 in. We're hitting out of the rough, so if you don't do so already, you should get in the habit of clubbing up at least one. And now my goal is just get anywhere on the green. Let's take a look over here at this heat map. I can see that pin is in a very scary place. We do not want to miss so far low that that ball just runs away from us. If we can two putt for par, this is going to be a massive win. Just going to try and get it as close as we can. I hit that too hard. Whoa. Yeah, it was wild. We could see how steep that is there. Not the ideal start that we wanted to do when we're looking to play it safe. But knowing where this is, it's actually not a ton of movement. So it looks like I have to hit it pretty firm, just a little bit to the left of the cup. Get up there. Get up there. Yes! Whew! That thing was just enough. Holy lucky. That second putt I did not necessarily anticipate to go in. But those are the ones that you're going to fall into when you're playing a little bit more conservative. Speaking of, we are now into really long par 3. This is not my kind of distance. But when we look at this one, we've got some room to miss left and right. We just need to clear that water. So I'm looking here. Clearing the water is 150. That's also downhill, so maybe 140, which means center the green, I'm looking at about 185, 175. So I'm going to choose a club that I feel more comfortable with, which is my 7-iron. Just held. That was the right club. I just happened to pull it. That pin is back a little bit. I've got some room to get on there. We're just trying to get it into a spot that we can give ourselves a decent look at a putt. Lovely. There we go. So that's 2 pars already to start, both of them by playing relatively conservative. All right, so we've got lots of space down there. This is a par 4 where there's not a lot of danger. Some more water to the right. But I think with how wide that fairway is, I can stay pretty central at it here. Okay, decent spot. Long look in, but that's okay. So let me just see what it looks like up on this green. We've got a couple bunkers that are scary there, and then it's an elevated green. So we do want to try to get up as close to that pin as possible because it looks like putting up from that lower tier is going to be pretty tricky. Still a little bit of a pull there. It's up on that next tier, which is what I wanted. Okay, so it moves a little bit downhill closer to the pin. We really don't want to go right because that looks like it's going to go far and fast down. Get it as close as we can so that the par becomes stress-free. Too hard. Oh, stop. Stop. I was a little firm with that. Just want to try and putt it with some confidence. If it goes in, awesome. If it doesn't, we're still sitting pretty good. We got some nice backboard there. 3 pars in a row. This is a very narrow hole. There is water to the left and the right. So I've been very fortunate that I haven't bogeyed yet. This gives me a little bit of lenience that if things go haywire, that's how you keep your mind in the right place. Oh, it's actually not water on that, right? That was just cart path. I had just slightly avoided it anyway. But, oh, there is water. It's just behind those trees. So we're about 270 to the hole. I'm not getting there. I don't have that kind of power with my 5-wood, especially out of the rough. So really what my option is going to be here is I want to try to set myself up so that my second shot is around 100 yards. That's because I'm very comfortable with that 100-yard shot these days. It's more about the leave than just getting as far as you can up there. Where can you position yourself so that your approach to the green gives you a little bit more confidence? Came out pretty good. I don't know if it's going to go as far as I was hoping. Oh, especially because it kind of clipped that bunker. It's slightly uphill. What does this green look like? This is the advantage of being indoors. You do want to take a look at what are these greens? Where do you want to miss? I forgot to do that on the first hole, and it really burned me. Just go a little bit off to the left. If I catch a bit of a flyer out of here, it might get closer to the pin than I anticipate. No, dude. No. And that's a big miss right there. I hit that way off the toe. So now I've left myself more of a challenge on a par 5 than I would have liked. So again, I'm just trying to save what I can. Wow, that is way closer than I was anticipating. That was a great scramble.
Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record on the next hole, but as luck would have it, it was my first bogey of the day. See?
There it is.
Look at that. I made it on the green in regulation, had a terrible 3-putt, and that's about it. Let's move on to the 6th hole.
So now we are into another par 3. We're just trying to get onto the green here. It's pretty good. It's a really nice spot. I like that shot. And this is where mindset matters. I did not get frustrated with that bogey. Even if I would have doubled, I would have had to keep my cool. This is pretty straight in. There we go. A little firm. That was pacey. But made a birdie. And we got that one right back.
Ha! Suck on that, bogey.
So here we go into hole 7. This is a par 4. I do have to move a little faster here because of my bay time.
I'll do some more voiceover for these last 11 holes, like with this one where I made a club change.
This is one I don't even want to use driver because I want to leave myself a good line in.
Because when I took a look, I realized that my driver had the potential to go straight through the fairway and into the woods, so an iron was a much smarter play here.
Along about 100.
And this is one of the keys if you're trying to break 80, is you really need to know where your strengths are. You're going to hear me a few times this round talk about how from 100 yards I feel very confident, and you can see exactly why.
Playing that one smart was huge because I left myself an approach club that I was really comfortable with.
So by not worrying about pulling out driver off the tee every time, I gave myself a nice easy birdie. And just like that, the very next hole I have to play smart again, as I notice that there's water that is right in my range if I use driver. So I'm just going to play it smarter, dial back with a 3-wood. And just because you play it smart doesn't mean you're going to hit it well. Because unfortunately I pulled that 3-wood hard. But fortunately, I hit the cart path on the other hole, and it bounces into a spot that gives me a good look. I have no trees to worry about, and I can get right back into the middle of the fairway with a pretty decent iron shot here. And that leaves me with about 125 yards into the green, and I hit a decent strike here, and even though I had a terrible tee shot, my good recovery helps me get onto the green in regulation, and I've got a birdie putt. I got really lucky that it's a pretty straight putt here, so with it being just over 35 feet, I'm solely focused on the weight.
No way.
Makes back-to-back birds just from playing it smart, which is cause for a terrible celebration.
How about that?
Starting this round by thinking that +4 on the front 9 would be good means that at -2 here, I feel like I'm just playing with house money. Let's get after this 9th hole. And I do start it off really well here with a nice drive. But what you're going to see is that I'm starting to get a little bit too confident, seeking more birdies, and I kind of rushed this downswing a little bit because I'm really trying to pin seek again. I'm not just letting it happen like it did the last couple holes, so I pull this one a bit to the right, and now I've got some work for me to do. I'm going to put it off with the fringe, and look at this thing. It's actually tracking again.
No
Is
way.
this another birdie? Oh, just short.
What a 9, though.
And although we're only halfway through this round, hopefully you can see that you don't have to be aggressive to shoot low. I've played pretty conservative up to now, and let's see how it works out on the back 9, even though I have to play a little bit faster to ensure that I finish before my bay time is up. Now I start this par 4 very similar to how I finished on the 9th hole. Pretty good drive here. I have a similar length for my approach shot, but you can see I swing a little bit easier and smooth here. Much better tempo. I didn't pull this shot, and I leave myself another good birdie look. And I mean, you can see by my face here, I was honestly in total shock. It was great to get so many straight birdie putts. I just can't believe they've all dropped. Best 5-hole stretch of my life. But you can see on this next hole, I'm still trying to stick to my strategy of not getting too aggressive. I made that mistake a couple holes ago. I don't want to keep doing that. So this is a par 4 that potentially I could get really aggressive and try and drive that green. But look at all that water on the right. I'm not going to. I'm just going to move the screen over to the left here, aim well away from the water, use my 3-wood, play a nice safe shot, and just keep this steady momentum going. And there you go. Pretty good strike. You're going to see I avoid the bunker. It does end up in the rough, but it's a pretty short look into the green from there. And that sets me up with about 88 yards, so I just pull out my 60 degree. I hit a nice, confident, smooth swing. And again, that one is right on the green, and I have a chance at another birdie putt. I mean, are you kidding me? This one's not straight though. There is a little bit of a bender to it, so I wasn't quite confident about making it. I left that very short because I didn't want it to run past the hole. But I'm not going to complain about a par. And as you watch me start up this par 5 that is super narrow, it's a good time to just mention, if you haven't noticed already, I have a pretty good short game. Anything that is within 100 to 120 yards, I feel pretty confident that I can at least get on or close to on the green and at least make a par from there. I think that the best thing anyone can do if you're trying to break 80 is work on that short game. And you'll see another example of it here, as I very rarely try to smash my driver. I just like nice, controlled, smooth swings. And with this being a par 5, I'm not even trying to get to the green in 2 by any means. Especially with there being bunkers in the fairway there and bunkers protecting the front of the green. I'm just pulling out an 8-iron here, just trying to hit a nice, smooth, controlled swing, aiming for about 155 yards so that I'll have 100 into the green again.
Keep on. Keep on.
Trying to talk to the ball to get it there. I talked a little too much. 97 out. And that's exactly why I wanted to, because you see that 56 degree, 100-yard shot that I've got in my bag. It's almost automatic for me this round. It's working so well. Dialed that in. Another straight putt right in the heart.
I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand what's happening.
And I know my body language looks frustrated, but I'm honestly just totally shocked that I'm 5 under through the last 7 holes when I've been playing this conservative. I'm just trying to break 80, and I'm well ahead of that pace right now. And in my pursuit to break 80, I'm always just trying to get on a par 3 in regulation. Anywhere on the green is good for me, and just try to 2-putt for par. And this one's tracking for another Okay, we'll take the par. That's what I expected, and that's what I got. And if you've stuck around in the video this long, I would really appreciate it if you could click the like button. If you don't subscribe to this channel already, that would be amazing too. Let's capitalize on the positive vibes while we've got them, because trust me, some pain is coming, because that's what average golfers have to expect. And that is possibly one of the slowest driver swings I've ever had, but it's because it's a pretty short fairway here. And this ends up being a pretty awkward shot for me. It's about 185 yards, which I'd normally use a 6-iron, but I saw it was slightly uphill, and for some reason I thought I would try and just take a little bit off a 5-iron. I don't know, that wasn't a good shot. And I was admittedly rushing a little bit at this point because I saw my bay time running out, and I really wanted to finish this round when I was playing so well. That was a terrible pitch shot that left it well short of the hole, and I just had to lag it up there and take my bogey. It brings us to a pretty short par 4 here, which I didn't realize was actually drivable for me, and it might be a good thing because rather than trying to get aggressive, I just swung where it had me lined up. It went mostly straight, so it missed the green a little bit to the right. I follow that up with another really lazy pitch shot, and now I put on a masterclass of losing mental focus. All I should be concerned with right now is 2-putting, and my first putt really isn't that bad. It breaks a little bit away from the hole, but it leaves just under 6 feet, and it's a straight look in. And I don't know if I had just got too comfortable making birdies today or if I was worried about the time, but a hand in a pocket as I'm getting ready to putt is just embarrassing. That putt I push off to the left. I don't deserve anything better than a bogey. Now it's down into the final 3 holes. I've got a 166-yard par 3. It's a little bit downhill. I have a nice smooth strike. I don't know what I jumped over there. I think it might have been the tee. And golf gives me an instant chance to try to redeem myself from that last mental lapse, because I have a long putt here that I lag up there and leave it a little bit short. This time it's about 8 feet instead of 6. But you can see here my body language is a little bit better. I'm actually thinking about this putt, I'm trying to make it, and there we go. Right back in the heart, nice par. And knowing that I've only got 2 holes to go and it's going to be just under the time for my bay, I'm trying to do anything possible to make sure I keep this ball in play. And that is one of my smoothest swings that I think I've ever had. That was an effortless 260 yards. Unfortunately, I followed up with a little bit of indecision here. As you see, I go back and grab a new club. It's because I noticed that the pin was at the back and on this top tier of the green, so I was willing to be a little bit shorter rather than try to go long of it. And one of the things you need to do to play good golf is choose a club that you can hit with confidence. Because just like I had done with the 5-iron a couple of holes ago, I didn't really commit to this swing, and I end up in the front left bunker. This gave me the opportunity to rely on my short game again, and I wasn't nearly as lazy as I was with those previous pitch shots, as this one drops close for the gimme par. That means with only a par 5 left to play, if I birdie this, I'm going to break 70. And despite that, I'm still trying to play this the same way I've played all the other holes, but what you will notice is I make a decision after this really nice drive that I want to save a little bit of time.
I'm going to go against protocol here. I'm just going to try and get up as far as I can here.
Instead of trying to hit a shot that would leave me 100 yards in, I just end up hitting a nice easy 3-wood, trying to get as much distance out of it as possible, just avoid that bunker, and a beautiful little draw. I don't normally do that. That leaves me with a little 46-yard pitch shot that I'm trying to get close enough to give myself a birdie chance, and holy crap, I don't even need to touch my putter. I did it!
What? I honestly don't know. I don't know how to comprehend what just happened.
The goal of this round was just to break 80 by playing smart, and somehow I broke 70. So hopefully you've learned something from this that can help your own game. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.